So I just got home from work. It is 45 degrees out, and that means the sap is running, so I am behind. I need to get our barrels cleaned out and our maple syrup equipment out of the garage and get to it. So this is all of our drip line and some of our equipment. These are our filters. We have a cloth filter and some paper filters. Extra line. These are some of our connectors. It's always good to have more than you need. And it looks like I don't have enough. It's always a good idea to keep everything in a sealed container so the mice don't get into your equipment. So these are some of our drip lines for our single buckets. Some of them have 2 drip lines on each tree depending on how big the tree is. Instead of hanging our buckets, we like to put our buckets on the ground and just run a little bit longer of a line down to the bucket. It just seems to work easier for us. So this is where we normally boil our sap. I need to rearrange some of the cinder blocks back to where they are supposed to be, but unfortunately some of them have cracked from the heat. I need to fix those or replace some of those before we can use it, so we have a lot of work to do here. So I'm down by the barn at the moment. This is kind of our main area where we tap our trees. There's probably about 20 to 30 trees just in this area here. There's another section down below, and there's a couple more sections up on the other side of our property. So this area is a little bit easier to tap because it's on a hill, and we run all the lines down to a main collection point, which is into a 30 or 50 gallon barrel. We put that barrel on a pallet, and then we were able to pick that up with our tractor and bring it up to our boiling location. So let's go check out the lines and see if anything needs to be fixed or replaced. Apparently we forgot to take out a tap last year. That's not good. So this section right here is probably going to get replaced. Not only is the connector split, but there's a bunch of junk built up inside of it. I can probably cut that off, but if that doesn't work, I'm just going to put a new line on it. So apparently some tree limbs fell and ripped part of our sap line down. So that's something we need to fix before we can get started. So I'm going to replace this sap line as well. It's pretty corroded inside. Not a big deal. So these are a couple of the older maple trees on our property. These are nice because we can put several taps in these. We thought this one was kind of odd because it had some kind of skull hanging from the tree. This is another section of maple trees on the property. Many of them are too small to tap at the moment. I may actually cut some of the smaller ones down just to allow the larger ones to be a little healthier. So I just need to go through and inspect the line, make sure there's no problems. So before we start tapping, we're going to flush the line, and that's to make sure all the sediment and debris is out of the line and everything's nice and clean. I think there's only about 3 to 5 trees on this particular line. We actually do a lot of individual buckets in this area simply because it's not on a hill, but there are some larger trees in this section. I thought you guys might get a kick out of this. These 2 maple trees are connected together. So we're just getting started with this year's maple season prep. There's a lot of work to do still, but if you're interested in the sugaring process or how we make our maple syrup, make sure you check the link below because I'm going to attach some of our videos from last year.